Welcome to this We Love Pets Explainer. Today, we're taking a documentary-style deep dive into the fascinating and honestly sometimes baffling psychology of our smallest companions. Understanding your small pet is the absolute foundation of a long, happy life together. But so often, there's a profound disconnect between human expectations and animal reality. Well, we're going to bridge that gap today. We'll look closely at the behavioral science behind how your small pets think, why they act the way they do, and how you can establish a foundation of true mutual trust. So you bring home a new pet. You're expecting a cuddly companion, right? But instead, you're dealing with painful biting, constant hiding, or finding your carpets completely shredded. It's incredibly common to feel frustrated and wonder, is my new pet wild? Is it just a bad pet? Unfortunately, this frustration is precisely the moment when a lot of pets end up surrendered to shelters. But here's the absolute crucial point. In the vast majority of cases, you aren't dealing with a bad pet. You are witnessing normal, deeply ingrained instinctual behaviors that just haven't been managed correctly yet. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll cover normal versus problematic behavior, the fundamentals of effective training, building trust through hand teaming, translating sounds and movements, and finally, accepting inherent biological traits. Let's dive right in. Section 1, normal versus problematic behavior. To really understand the psychology of your small companion, we need a complete paradigm shift. It's vital to realize that rabbits, ferrets, hamsters, and rats are not simply miniature dogs or cats. Dogs and cats have been shaped by thousands of years of specific domestication as predators. Small animals, on the other hand, are prey animals. Their entire psychological makeup is driven by survival instincts. It's literally hardwired into them. When we look at their actions through the lens of a predator animal, we're going to completely misinterpret what they're trying to tell us. For example, when a small animal bites, hides, or acts out, owners often attribute it to malice, like they're doing it on purpose. But malice is almost never the root cause. Instead, these actions are almost always a reaction to profound fear, past trauma, or the biological onset of sexual maturity. If you see behaviors like mounting or urine spraying in young animals, that's highly likely to be a hormonal reaction, not behavioral disobedience. Once you realize a behavior is just an instinctual response, your entire goal as an owner shifts. You stop trying to fix the animal, and you move toward managing their environment. Section 2, fundamentals of effective training. Now that we understand their prey-animal mindset, we can transition into actionable techniques that actually work. Training a small animal is fundamentally an exercise in non-threatening communication. The absolute most successful approach here is positive reinforcement. You must never use physical punishment, like hitting or flicking, because that will only reinforce the prey animal's inherent fear of your hands. Let's look at the exact steps for litter box training ferrets and rabbits. Step 1. Utilize their natural instinct. They naturally prefer to eliminate in corners, away from where they sleep or eat. So place litter boxes in multiple corners of their habitat. Step 2. Use an appropriate substrate, like recycled paper, which is safe and absorbent. And step 3. Praise them immediately when they use the correct spot. You're setting them up for success by managing their environment rather than punishing them for failure. You can also teach proactive commands, like the come command. Believe it or not, you can train almost any small pet to approach you on cue. Step 1, associate a specific, consistent sound with the command. This could be a click, a whistle, or just shaking a treat container. Step 2, provide an immediate reward the exact moment they investigate that sound. Step 3, repeat this consistently. Over time, that specific sound becomes a clear, non-threatening signal to the animal that a positive reward is on the way, completely overriding their instinct to hide. Section 3, building trust through hand taming. Hand taming is often the most challenging, but honestly, the most rewarding part of pet ownership, especially if you're dealing with a shy or skittish animal. To succeed, it requires one massive mindset shift. Stop acting like a predator. Many adopted pets harbor traumatic memories of negative human interactions. To build trust, you have to analyze your own body language. Predators in the wild move quickly, they swoop in and they grab. If you're darting your hands into a cage to grab your pet, you are mimicking the exact behavior of an owl, a hawk, or a snake. You must consciously stop these predatory movements. To overcome that fear, you need a patient, step-by-step process. First, allow the animal plenty of time to adjust to their new environment without any interference from you. Second, just spend time near the cage. Talk softly, move slowly, and don't force the interaction. Let them get used to your presence. Third, offer treats from a flat, open palm. This allows the animal to approach and explore you entirely on its own terms without ever feeling trapped. Finally, and this is absolutely crucial, respect their boundaries. Some small animals may never fully enjoy being held. And you know what? That's an entirely acceptable outcome. Respecting that boundary is the ultimate sign of responsible ownership. Section 4. Translating sounds and movements. To master this non-threatening communication, you effectively need to become a translator for your specific pet's unique physical and vocal language. Let's break down these specific cues so you can accurately interpret what your pet is feeling. Starting with ferrets, if you hear a chirping or laughing sound, that's an excellent sign. It signals happy play. For rabbits, body language is everything. A rabbit that dramatically flops onto its side with its legs outstretched is showing you ultimate trust and comfort. Conversely, if a rabbit is chattering its teeth or screaming, this indicates severe fear, anger, or pain. Now, for rodents like rats, teeth grinding is actually a positive sign, often signaling contentment. However, squeaking is almost exclusively a vocalization of distress. Learning these specific cues allows you to react appropriately and build real trust. But there's a massive caveat to behavioral translation. Sudden behavioral changes often equal physical illness. If your normally friendly, active pet is suddenly hiding in the corner, showing aggression, or refusing to eat, do not assume they're just in a bad mood. In small prey animals, masking illness is a vital survival tactic. Therefore, sudden behavioral shifts are very often red flags for underlying physical illness or pain, and they require immediate veterinary attention. Section 5. Accepting inherent biological traits. True success as an owner requires the radical acceptance of your pet's unchangeable biology. Consider the term crepuscular. This refers to animals that are primarily active during the twilight hours of dawn and dusk. Many small animals are either nocturnal or crepuscular. They have their own schedules and biological needs completely separate from human routines. This explains exactly why your animal might be loudly running on a wheel, completely full of energy, precisely when you're trying to sleep. You cannot train this biology out of them, no matter how hard you try. The solution here is environmental management. If your hamster runs all night, simply relocate their noisy habitat out of your bedroom. If your rabbit has a deep biological urge to chew and dig, which they do, provide safe outlets for it. Give them cardboard for digging and safe chew sticks for their teeth. The golden rule here is do not attempt to suppress their natural instincts. Doing so only creates stress for the animal and deep frustration for you. Provide a safe, managed outlet for the behaviors they were biologically born to perform. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Are you expecting a different species? Success as a pet owner comes from accepting your pet exactly for who they are, instincts and all, rather than expecting them to behave like a dog, a cat, or a human. By respecting their natural prey instincts, removing predatory behaviors from your own actions, and relying solely on positive reinforcement, you can transform your relationship from one of suspicion into a lifelong bond of mutual trust. Thank you for following along with this explainer on animal behavior. If you found this deep dive helpful, please make sure to subscribe to We Love Pets for more specialized animal care tutorials.